Have you ever thought about the words that you're saying to yourself? Would you say those things to your best friend? Sometimes I feel like we're a little hard on ourselves. I want to talk about the impact of that, so stay tuned. Hi, my name is Tammy Bartles, and welcome to my channel, Pursuit Over Perfection, where I encourage women to organize their chaos one routine at a time. So you may be wondering why I'm talking about words and thoughts and the importance of that. Well, it's funny because I know that at least in my generation, whenever I was a kid, and probably anyone that was older than me, and even I feel like I've probably said it to my kids a time or two, is you hear the saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt you. As much as a nice little saying that is, I think that it's completely false. I am someone that is very much a acts of service and words of affirmation person with my love language, and so words can sting a little. And I know that I have been guilty of saying words that have been hurtful as well. I think about how words and fire can often be very similar. Fire can be a really amazing tool. For instance, when you go camping, you need a fire to either stay warm or to cook food or make amazing s'mores on. But a fire can also be extremely destructive. When it's a wildfire in the forest, or your house catches on fire, that is destruction at its worst. I think about how words can be very similar. They can be tools to be lifting someone up and give them words to motivate and inspire them, but they also can be really destructive and tear people apart. Words are different than a fire in that a fire oftentimes is seen and very visible, whereas words, you may not see it at first, but over time, they can really add up and completely tear someone apart. So, for instance, one of my biggest pet peeves is women saying, I'm a hot mess. And yes, I know, I have probably said it more times than I would like as well. And I think that's part of what the culture has tried to implement, that women and moms are just these hot mess and we can't get it together. I completely disagree. I will admit, a few years ago, I was a hot mess. And it was something that I started to think that was going to be my life. And that was the way that a stay-at-home mom's life had to be. But I realized that I didn't want to live that life. I didn't want to be a hot mess. I didn't want to be stressed out and overwhelmed all of the time. And so you have to make that choice. Do you want to continue to call yourself a hot mess and be that? Or do you want to be an amazing mom that's present, focused on lifting your children up daily? That might be a big stretch for me because every day, I'm not probably lifting my children up as much as maybe I could be. That's something that you can strive for. You can strive towards that, and you'll never be perfect, but it's the pursuit over perfection that's important. I am not saying that you can say, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then it just become true. I'm also not saying that I'm gonna be a great mom, and then you're gonna be a great mom. But the thing is if you say that I'm a great mom, you're definitely gonna strive more towards being that and embodying those actions than you would be if you just said I'm a hot mess and you just give up. Let's talk about, where do these words and these thoughts come from? What are you consuming? You consuming a lot of social media? Are you consuming a lot of YouTube? Is it coming from the news? What about the friends that you're engaging with on a daily basis? Are they using words in those aspects to lift you up, or are they tearing you down and making you feel worse? If you have followed me on Instagram yet, you will see that I have this love-hate relationship with social media. I love it that it's an opportunity for me to share some of this information with other overwhelmed moms like you, but it's also something that I know from personal experience that as an overwhelmed mom, I sometimes get down on myself even more by being on social media. That comparison comes into play, and you see that they're doing this and they're doing that, and should I be doing those things? And then you question, am I even a good mom? All of a sudden, you're living and wishing you had so much more. Now, I've talked about how what you're consuming and what your thoughts are and where your words are coming from is really important. And this is where we have to address the fact that you have to make a change. If the words that are coming in and the thoughts that you're getting are not beneficial and lifting you up, then maybe it's time to declutter those from your life. That's another whole video that we can talk about. A simple step that you can take to move forward in lifting yourself up and lifting others up is to focus on the gratitude that you have for that day. Every day you wake up, we need to be grateful for the day. God gave us another day on this beautiful green earth. And while we may be struggling on our day-to-day life, the saying that I have shared before is the days are long, but the years are short. And we can take advantage of the fact of the time that we do have on this earth and steward it well. I have talked about before in another one of my videos about my morning routine and the importance of having a gratitude journal. Whether you are a rooster or an owl, which is the video that I'm talking about, it talks about that you want to make sure that you are finding the right words at the right time. When you wake up in the morning, do you grab your phone and start scrolling immediately? Well, maybe something else you could do is grab a journal that's on the side of your bed and start writing down all the great things that you're thankful for that are in your home and in your family. It's a fantastic way to start off the day on a positive note. Maybe even have some of those affirmations written down in your journal so that you read those first, that I'm a great mom, I'm a great wife, I am a child of God, I am not alone, because God never leaves you. Do you think grabbing that phone and starting to scroll immediately is going to set you up for a day full of positivity? Likely not. Maybe instead, grab that journal that's on the side of your bed, or set one there, and write down all of the things that you're grateful for to be able to kick off your day. You wouldn't let someone talk to your child the way that you talk about yourself sometimes. So God doesn't want you to be talking to yourself that way either, because you are his child. So taking the gratitude a step further. I know that so many of us are overwhelmed and filled to the brim with our planners and calendar, and we've talked about needing to clear out that as well. Something that I found really beneficial in starting my day is knowing that getting in God's word is something that's going to lift me up and not ever tear me down. You may be thinking, I don't have time to read the Bible. Well, if you have 5 minutes to scroll social media, let's just also talk about priorities and what you're prioritizing. I know that probably stings a bit, and it definitely has stung me in the past, but we all make choices in life. Now, I will say that some people are also thinking, but I wouldn't even know where to start in the Bible. And that I definitely understand, because I was right there with you as well. The cool thing is that I have written a devotional that is meant to help overwhelmed moms have a place to start and have a place that it can take just a couple of minutes to read a couple of scriptures and see how they can be applied in a daily life. In James, he is very much talking to Christians and talking about how we can live a life that is dedicated to Jesus. Our thoughts drive our actions. And so often our thoughts become so debilitating that our actions just become frozen. So what it takes is starting with 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of either writing in your gratitude journal, writing 5 things that you're thankful for, or picking up a devotional and seeing where God takes you in just those few minutes that you're in his word. And then you can build on that. I know that my life has radically changed since being in his word every single day. I miss a day here or there every once in a while, but I can tell a difference when I don't have those words in me first thing in the morning. If you are interested in wanting to learn more about my devotional book and when it is available or how to get your hands on it, then just click the link in the description and you will be added to my email list, because that is where all of the information first gets sent out and you can get all the details there. So, do you think that words matter? Do you think they make a difference in your life? I'd love to see in your comments what is something that you struggle with telling yourself, and let's come up with some ways that we can flip that script and make it a positive for you. I am so appreciative of you watching this, and I would love for you to share it with a friend. Please like and subscribe to my channel to stay in the know about all organizing chaos one routine at a time, and don't forget that it's all about living a life of pursuit over perfection. I hope you have a blessed day.